All right, everybody, let's go ahead and just dive right into this next episode. Essentially, Lamar Jackson and Bernard Pollard got into a Twitter beef yesterday. Bernard Pollard was on record of saying that Lamar Jackson can't make the throws in the pocket and he can't win from the pocket. And Bernard Pollard obviously won a Super Bowl with this guy, so he has some credence on what it takes to win championships. And he was one of the most feared players, during his time as a safety. And obviously Lamar Jackson went back and forth. He started calling him little bro. He started saying that his highlights, aren't even on his. He had to Google him. He said that he's never heard of him. He only has six seconds of college highlight film. So, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so obviously went back and forth. And so, anyways, let's just get right into it. My episode I did yesterday about the top 10 QB list and what my take on it was. I honestly feel that Lamar Jackson is a byproduct of Greg Roman. And another guy who's a byproduct of Greg Roman was this guy right here. So I mean, that's not an insult. When I say that, I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm not saying that as a way to be derogatory to Lamar Jackson, and I'm not saying that he's not a great quarterback. When I was watching when I was watching Undisputed today, Shannon Sharp was saying that ultimately that Bernard Pollard was just giving an unbiased kind of critique of Lamar Jackson and his player profile, and essentially, he was just stating the truth that Lamar can't make the throws in the pocket. So, I mean, ultimately, these are types of things that are like very. These are things, and when I met Ray Lewis, before the year, it was the season prior to the Ravens, before his last season when they made the Super Bowl and played my Niners, and God, painful loss, but. Ultimately, someone asked Ray at the signing event, what do you think about Bernard Pollard? And Ray said that, he's right up there with Ed, in the sense that not necessarily ability or skill wise, but kind of what he did, the intangibles, and, what you can't see on the film, because, Bernard being the strong safety, he freed up Ed, to basically make deep plays. I mean, people would not, Bernard, I think if I'm not mistaken, 2008, he was the one who knocked out Tom Brady and for the season. Then he also knocked out Gronkowski in the 2011 playoffs. 2011, 2012, I think 2011. All right, anyways. All right, and then he knocked out Steve Ridley in the 2012 AFC Championship game before they made the Super Bowl and beat my Niners. So Bernard Pollard was one of the most feared defenders of his era. For those of you who don't know who he is. But anyways, back to the point. So Lamar Jackson and Bernard being a former Raven, I mean, I don't think that his comments came out of left field, because the fact that he was just giving an opinion, on Lamar's ability and Lamar's, playing style. And, we haven't historically seen quarterbacks who don't play from the pocket win Super Bowls, right? If you look at, the last how many Super Bowls, it's been quarterbacks who are pocket passers and can win from the pocket. So ultimately, I think, I understand where Lamar's coming from. He took it as a slight because, it came across as saying like he can't make the throws, and there's no top 10, 15 receiver that wants to go to Baltimore is clamoring to play with Lamar. But if you look at Bernard's kind of analysis, right? I mean, the reason why is because the throws that he's talking about are from the pocket, and if you look at Lamar's record in the playoffs, I believe he's 0-2 or 3, or is it 1-3? No, sorry, 1-3 in the playoffs. They beat the Titans in the wild card round. Last season, the playoffs, I forgot about that. So 1-2, 1-3, whatever his record is, it's just, he hasn't been able to get out of the second round, right? He's been able to get out of the first round, and he's an MVP caliber quarterback. There's no question of his talent, his ability, but ultimately, in order to win championships, you do historically kind of need a pocket passer, right, to help you kind of get there. I don't think we've seen a mobile quarterback who hasn't played from the pocket or can't make the throws from the pocket lead a team to a championship. So. But anyways, back to the point. I think I think that is my point. I think Bernard Pollard, his comments, I can see why some people were offended about it, but I mean that's kind of why also I wouldn't personally put Lamar Jackson in the top 10 quarterbacks list. I would put Lamar Jackson maybe at 11, maybe at 12. Because he basically has the same playoff record as Dak Prescott. At this point. And until we can see Lamar do a little bit more, and I'm just a fan, right? So until we can see Lamar do a little bit more, in the postseason, just basically make deeper runs. I mean, there's no reason for anyone to really get angry or disagree with Bernard. It's not to say like, Lamar can't make a deep playoff run. I think he definitely can, but that's yet to be seen. Until he can actually make that run, I think Bernard Pollard, is definitely on point. And Lamar Jackson's a bad look for him to be going back and forth with Bernard Pollard the way he did. And so, I mean, I don't know. I think, it's depending on who you are and what you look for in quarterbacks. Again, that's why I said yesterday, if you look for certain things like just athleticism, abilities to win in big moments, I think Skip Bayless said Lamar Jackson's ability to win is what separates him from any other quarterbacks. Then yeah, of course, you will see it as slight. But in my opinion, I think Bernard Pollard, definitely was on the money. Until we see Lamar Jackson make the deep playoff run, we should definitely hold him accountable and just, basically state that, he doesn't have what it takes to win until he proves otherwise. So I mean, if you're a big time player, if you're an MVP caliber player making MVP money, this is the type of criticism you should be bracing yourself for. So that's my take. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless.